guys, this is a concise summary of a guide to the guide. That was an overview I did at our orientation on Saturday, but I know not all of you were able to be there, so I wanted to hop on and put one on our YouTube channel for families coming in. So this is our grammar guide, and every family that is enrolled, whether they're enrolled for a Tuesday day, which is our core day, or a Thursday day, which is our elective, or both, each family gets one guide. And so let's talk about what is in there and what the academics are going to look like at Aletheia. So in the guide, we begin with our schedule. And our schedule shows what's happening on Tuesday and what's happening on Thursday. And it breaks down the times for us. And you'll notice that on Tuesday, when you get your guide, that Kinder has its own classroom that doesn't move and its own program. And that's the same for pre-K. The 1st through 6th graders will move classes as they work through the 3 blocks. Remember, on Tuesday is our core day with science, history, and then literature 1st through 3rd, and composition 4th through 6th. And they'll move through those 3 blocks. On Thursday, we have more of an electives type day, and that is going to include our fine arts, our PE, and our memory work. And our classes are more combined on the electives day. And so we will have our K through 1st together, our 2nd through 4th, and then our 5th through 6th. And they will move through those blocks. So the Kinder do move on Thursday. And we do not have an official pre-K or nursery. In the guide, you also have, in case you are curious, all of the rooms that we are using for Aletheia and when those classes are. And so, for instance, we can see in the library that there's a Logic 1 Bible class. And so you'll be able to tell what room is being used when. If you're not familiar with the church, if it's not your home church or if it is your first year at Aletheia and you just don't know the campus that well, we've also included a campus map to help you out. So when it says 108, you know exactly where 108 is. And then we have our org chart. This is all the leadership positions at Aletheia and who is doing what. So if you had a question, if you wanted to have an event planned, then you could look and see social events coordinator, Sarah Carrington and Shara Tanazi. And so that would let you know. Facilities coordinator, Katie Hansen. And so that will help you out. And then begins the volunteer by names. And so this is all the volunteers and when and where they're scheduled. And there are several pages of that because we have a lot of volunteers needed to make this work. Then we have our grammar schedule. This is actually the whole campus schedule, but grammar is in green. G for grammar and green. And it shows us that our first break, yay, 10-3. Love those breaks. After that, we have the memory work overview. Now, another unique part of this year is not only do we have 2 days, but we also have created memory work that is a little bit different for the younger group. And if you were to do a comparison, I did send that out, the memory work overview. You'll see that science, history, hymn are the same. With Bible, there's a little bit difference. They are memorizing the same verses, but older, we put in a few more verses for them to memorize. And with the catechism, it's the same catechism question, but the New City Catechism provides a shorter catechism and a longer one, and so we put just the shorter one in the younger, and we expanded it to the full catechism in the older group. And math is a little bit different, math and geography for the youngers. If you have kids that are in both, we only have one guide to give your family, but you have options. You can ask me to email you the PDF of the older guide. If you have older kids and you just want to print it out for them, you can also have a book made, but that does cost some money because it costs us money to print them. So we're just charging you what it costs us. So that is an option for you as well, but you can let me know. Then begins the memory work. Now, even if you're not doing the elective day, the memory work class is a fun class of drills and games to just reiterate that memory work. But even if you're not coming for that class, you can still do memory work at home. Memory work was a big staple in our home growing up, and we did it during morning time with our Bible time. But because it works in your family, even if you're not coming, if you're doing the core day, because I pulled from our core subjects. And we'll be doing hymn and family worship, so it all relates. So you can use this memory work on your own, even if you're not coming to the class. Now, if you are doing the core day, that is the back of the guide, is specifically for you. That's going to have your preschool schedule. And reading through some of this brought back a lot of memories. We did so much of this with my preschoolers. Chicka Chicka Boom Boom, that was a favorite. We did the Moon Oreos, loved that. So that's exciting. And then we get into the literature, which is our 1st through 3rd. Love the way this is laid out here. I did not designed the literature, but it's great. And she put in there, the instructor's Talia, she put in there like Unit 1 China. So you don't have to do anything at home for literature. Your kid just shows up, reads great books, gets to look at an atlas. But if you want to do something, she'll show you, like, we're in China the first 3 weeks. So you could pick books from the library or watch special documentaries. You could plan that out if you wanted to do that, even just planning like 5 weeks at a time. After China, you go to Japan, and then Thailand, India, Antarctica. So much fun for those literature kids. The other neat thing is she highlights the books they're using, and then she gives you a list of other books that you might choose to use at home that you could get from your library. Love that. For the older kids, no, we won't go there yet. We'll go to history next. History, everyone's doing history. Remember, this is the textbook. If you're using that, you'll see here that we've created a checklist. So before Academy Day, you would read lesson 1. This is left open. The history teachers know what they're doing, but you can write in what's done or just leave that blank. But you'll read lesson 1 before class, and then at home, lesson 2 and lesson 3. And they can mark that off, even if you wanted to give it to your student to do. If you have older kids, we also put in the checklist if they wanted to do a pretest, because that's included in the book. And if they don't want to do a pretest, if you don't want to do that, there's also Somewhere in Time, which is a mapping exercise you could do. The book also includes, which we're going to scan and send to you guys, a bunch of extra things, much like the literature included an extra list of books of things you could do that relate to the lessons you're learning. That's optional for you. Then we get to science. Love science. This also has the pages you need to read listed right here. It looks like 14 to 15. And then we have the activities that we're doing, expanding the universe. And then this is the optional day 2. So for science, you just have to read, and there's a lot less reading this year. If you were here with us last year, a lot less this year. Reading and then coming and doing the activity, that can be science for you. If you want to do the student notebook, that's additional. And then last is our composition. So this is for those kids who are in 4th through 6th grade. They will be following IEW Level A Year 2. And so we've mapped that out for you, what we're doing at Academy and what you should be doing at home. Now there are 3 days of work mapped out. You don't have to do it in 3 days. If you're not coming to the elective day, you might opt to do it for 4 days. But the way it would work is you would do work on Wednesday, Friday, and Monday. Those could be your 3 days. So that you're not having, if you're going to an elective day, you're not coming home and doing more IEW work. And that is the guide. So if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them about academics. We are so excited about this year. Cannot wait for all the fun things the kids are going to learn and all the opportunities we're going to have this year, homeschooling them. Cannot wait for Tuesday or Thursday if that's your first day. See you then.